All right, so it is map 2 time. Predictions are on the cards, boys. Nice and quick, because we've got ourselves a knife round about to start. Sean, where do you see this one going? Are we going to see a third map?
I think so. I think Luminosity can take this map. They're extremely strong on Inferno. They need to at least go 1-for-1 on pistol rounds, though. If they don't go 1-for-1 on pistol rounds, they're going to lose.
Okay, calling it.
I think Fallen's the best leader we have in the Americas right now, and I got confidence he's going to have them come back into this matchup and playing much, much better than that first one. So I'm going to take Luminosity as well on Inferno.
Okay. Are we going to see a third, Robin?
I want to see a third. I mean, just again, coming into Dust 2, I don't think they had any expectations.
Yeah.
Now, this is the map that you want to win, right? This is the map that you should win. You played great on during DreamHack. Yeah, I'm going to say Luminosity as well.
All right, lighting up.
Clean sweep.
There you go. That's actually that's only happened towards the Fanatics and the Envy. So now we've actually one of our closer matchups, and it's looking like we're going to be seeing the desk thinks the Brazilians are going to be picking this one up.
Couch.
Every time the couch desk thing combination hybrid is going to call in this one to the Brazilians, and we'll hand this over to your casters for Inferno.
Well, there we go. Desk couch says Brazilians. Semler,
NaVi.
do you like Brazilian?
I like the Brazilians, yes. I would love to see an American team pick up a map today.
Have you ever had a Brazilian?
No, I haven't, actually. I've had
Okay.
a Peruvian, though. But NaVi, I think, are going to be just too solid. I think that they're fired up now. Flamey, if he's hitting shots like this, he's showing that he's in the mix. Edward, Guardian, I think there's just too much firepower right now. Yes, Luminosity, they can hold out. They can actually, get some damage done on Inferno, but I'm going to go with NaVi on this one.
All right, going against the tide here is what you're doing.
Damn straight.
Defying analysts such as Fiflaren Moses and Sean Gears. Goddamn.
Defying analysts everywhere.
That's scary, but I mean, NaVi are very good at this map, and they could so easily be so much better as well. It's always a bit frustrating for me, actually, to watch NaVi on this map, because they do so many things so well, but they have such a fundamental misconception about how smokes and molotovs are used, and they tend to sort of not conserve them very well at all. But maybe that's changed. It's actually been a while since I've seen them play on this map, especially under the leadership of Starix and all that stuff, so maybe stuff has changed here. Knife round doesn't look too good. Actually almost brought it back there, but it will be Luminosity picking up the knife, which is probably important. And we're going to go into the second map here of the Pro League Finals, live from LA. If you are just joining us, then a big welcome. It is the final sort of best of 3 of the day. Tomorrow we will have a lot of Counter-Strike as well. And obviously we've got the finals coming in on Sunday as well. So it's going to be just a great weekend overall of Counter-Strike. And thank you very much for joining us. I didn't say my prediction. Maybe I should. No, I think LG are going to win this. I'm going to join with it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to beat everybody at the same time.
Oh, fantastic.
How do you feel about that?
I love it. I love it. Me against the world.
Yeah.
Bring it. Bring it. I think NaVi, man, I think they're going to be able to do some serious damage, especially if they keep hitting pistol rounds. And if Guardian gets that op, it's going to be a real rough time here for Luminosity, but it's not going to be an easy road here for NaVi, and it looks like NaVi will get the start on the T side, Luminosity on the CT side, and so right into the thick of things here with the pistol round Anders, and, well, full utility already picked up here by Fallen, at least. As for NaVi, they haven't gone Rain Boss mode. Actually, it's only just Seized going for the nades here. Everybody else, flat Kevlar. This makes you think that they want to just go for the straight brute force approach.
And only one smoke as well, which is a bit interesting. Whenever I see 2 smokes in a pistol round on the T side, I always think it's probably going to be a B push. When I see just 1, it makes me wonder a little bit here. They could still just use the 1 to smoke off CT spawn and then go for it, but it's always a bit of a risk, really. 2 flashbangs to follow up. They've cleared out and made sure that no one's flanking. You can see Guardian was on a bit of a sort of information gathering over at the other side of the map. Cole is going to spot a couple of people, and they make their way through, maybe force out some grenades. They still got their smoke and their flashbang. Now they are making their way back with 50 seconds up the middle, where there is a almost sort of a 3-way crossfire here. This is going to be really tough for NaVi. If they make it way in here, I think they're going to be in a tough position here. Initial click comes out, FNX not hitting it, but there's the headshot on Flamey, gets a second one on Guardian too, and that's 2 opening frags. They still haven't cleared out the corner as well, and Fur is going to be there. FNX 3rd headshot of the round, and Seized and Zeus, they're going to be left here in a 2-on-4.
Yeah, and they are actually going for the right side. There's only a single man here to hold, and he's going to peek out and get the headshot instantly. Cold is there to shut Zeus down, and he's there to take out Seized as well. Oh boy, this is how it happens, Anders. Luminosity, they're a momentum-based team. It really helps them to get a strong start. They get that pistol in such dominant fashion. if Cold gets fired up, this is actually going to be a bit of a problem here for NaVi. And NaVi aren't even holding back. They're going for the straight buy right off the bat. Guardian, of course, going for the Deagle Kevlar combo.
I mean, those pistol shots from FNX, obviously huge plays from him. And yeah, that was, you know, like the analyst was saying, if they can just get 1 out of 2 pistol rounds, then maybe they'll have this. Here's the first one. Now they need to survive this buy-up scare. And what a shot. That's Edward and then Guardian with the follow-up Deagle. So this is what couldn't happen for Luminosity.
It's Dust 2 all over again, right? Just, are we going to see that melee again where they just go toe-to-toe, round for round at the beginning? Bomb carrier gets dropped, but then he gets baited out into the open. Flamey takes advantage of that, removes Taco from the map, and it's going to be down to Cold and Fallen. Now the last 2 alive for Luminosity. Trying to get in here quick, and Edward is low, but Seized hits a crazy shot on Cold from short. And now it's all going to be down to Fallen. 1v3. And they don't have a whole lot of HP here to work with, NaVi. So if they challenge him, it's going to be a real risk. But it doesn't look like Fallen wants any part of this fight. He doesn't have a kit. And there's just too much time ticked off of this bomb for him to be able to get in here and challenge this Triangle of Doom.
Yeah, he can't really do anything at this point. Nice crossfire as well between Quad and Boiler Room there. So that was a little bit tricky, I think, for Luminosity to get back into the round. Fallen gonna survive with the FAMAS and armor, and that is pretty much it. So great opening kills in favor of NaVi. Not a lot you can really do. I mean, it's hard to do anything about that if you are going to challenge. And I guess the lesson then is to don't challenge too much.
It's so dangerous when they're close quarters with those pistols. I mean, Edward already, that instant headshot with the P250, bam! And then Guardian takes out the man at Arch. It couldn't have gone any better there for NaVi. When they push up the mid like that, they're looking for that crossfire fight. It just falls apart immediately for Luminosity. And of course, Luminosity, on their side of things, they don't. It's just like Dust 2, Anders. They don't want to let go. They do not want to let NaVi start getting rounds on the board on their T side of Inferno. They know how good NaVi are on the CT side. Every round counts, and so Luminosity are going to go for the force buy here. This is risking it. If they lose this round, it's a hard eco, and then question is whether Fallen will have his AWP.
And that would be nice, but maybe not completely essential on Inferno. I think they could survive for a while without the AWP if they can just get some sort of economy on the board here. But Cold close with the smoke as well. Is he going to have the timing for it? Not even close. Bomb still dropped out there. So now we just have to wait. And in 50 seconds, they're not going to have any problem doing that. So when the smoke is gone, it's going to be like 40 seconds left, and then it's going to be a free-for-all. They're going to see that no more smokes are coming up anywhere, and they're going to know that they can just walk in.
It looks like NaVi, they've got their eyes set on A site right now. 30 seconds left. So that pretty much ends it. They have left a man alive at top Banana. He's stomping around. He's making sure that these 2 players over here for Luminosity aren't going to rotate over too early until it's too late, until NaVi are pressing onto the site. Frere, he gets smoked off in Library, so he can't even just try and push through. He would get picked off immediately. It's going to come down to the 2 players alive here for Luminosity, but not for long. FNX instantly taken out. Taco trying to do some damage here from Pit, and he's going to buy enough time for Frere to step out from Library and pick up a kill, but he's going to get stomped into the ground here by Guardian, and that leaves it down to Cold and Fallen. Fallen still with the FAMAS, but a 2-on-4 retake of the A side on Inferno. It's a tall task. It's a bit too much here for Luminosity.
Oh, well, Fallen, I think Flamey spotted the gun barrel, so he's got a bit of an idea that someone might be there. Just waiting for it. Backup being called for, and actually Fallen somehow taking down both. I have no idea how they managed to line up like that. That looked a little bit confusing. Now, the question is, can Cold run in after the bomb explosion and actually pick something up? Fallen with a 3rd kill of the FAMAS. This is really a very good job here on the Brazilian side. And Cold, no, he didn't get a rifle. That's a real shame. Look, it felt like he should have been able to.
I mean, just like on Dust 2, though, NaVi, they get into these plant situations and then they're just giving up so many rifles afterwards. They make it so expensive for themselves. This could have been a situation where, with 4 players alive, maybe they lose 1 more, but they could have kept at least 3 alive, and so nobody would have had to force. They could have dropped guns around, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Now their money's just right back down to 0 again here for NaVi, so this is going to be a little frustrating for them. Still, Luminosity, hard eco for them, of course, because they lose that force, and so it is really just going to come down to NaVi now having a perfect round. And Cold, well, he's going to ruin that party right off the bat. Guardian taken out by him, close quarters in the apartments.
Very good job. Zeus making a bit of a jump on the other side here, and Fallen is there with that dreaded FAMAS. Took down 3 of their players last time. This time, it's not going to do a damn thing. Zeus taking down him and Taco, and that's going to leave it up to FNX and Fur here. Trying to see if they can do a bit more damage. Again, damage is very important here. Luminosity, they've got to count on the 5th round to get right back in here, and if they keep doing damage, then they can keep NaVi close to that eco.
I love it. Zeus, he smells the stack. He knows, and yeah, he doesn't even let the flames do the job. Fur gets taken out with a bullet instead.
Mercy killing, in other words.
Exactly, right? Painful way to go in the fire. FNX, he's going to try and go for the sneak, but Zeus knows that there's somebody playing from construction. You can see NaVi basically just spreading out, making sure that that man was going to be boxed in. They knew just how many defenders were there, and so now it gets a little bit, gets a little bit interesting. Fallen just had enough money for his AWP, and there are the rifles. Limited nades though for Luminosity, and there it is actually Fallen. He could have gone for more, but he's actually just going to go for the Kevlar so he can get that kit and still have a smoke. So 4 smokes here for Luminosity at the beginning of this round. Man, no incendiaries. And FNX can't even afford it. So this is still heavily favored for Navi. This is still a round for them to take. And they're just going to get that pressure up right off the bat. Luminosity not willing to challenge, or at least they're not going to challenge bottom banana, but they will put down 1 smoke at least to buy a little bit of time here.
Good little boost up on the wood stacks there to try and look all the way behind into new boxes, or even just
nasty.
look over the smoke as well. Yeah, we've seen a couple of teams do this in the past as well. Very cool idea and very basic, but so far they're not finding anybody. In fact, there's only 1 person holding over here. So a strong setup for the A-bomb side, and they trust in Cold to try and take care of things on his own. He's out of grenades, though. Could have been spotted then. That was a bit scary.
Yeah, they came off the boost. They came off the boost just as he starts to go back to that site. And he has a flash, but he has no smoke. No smoke here to block off a push coming in from Navi. So Navi right now, 45 seconds left. This is perfect for them. They're going to get the full execute onto the site, and Cold only has a single flash to stop him. He's going to have to just get fantastic headshots here. It all comes down to him to at least trade 1 for 1, because going into an equal retake, it's going to be real tough for Luminosity. There we go. He gets his job done at least. Trades 1 for 1, confirms that the bomb is here, and now it comes down to the rotation here for Luminosity. They need to get in quick and not die, but Flamey's there to take out Fur through the smoke.
Yeah, you can't even really sort of blame Fur that he was playing aggressive like that. Fallen gonna miss the 1 shot, gets the follow-up on Flamey, and they gotta be careful. The bomb has only just gone down here. Now they don't want to give away this round. Fallen with a secondary kill, but FNX gonna take down Zeus, and they've actually brought it back now. It's Guardian here, you know, 1-on-2, trying to see if he can stay alive and maybe let this bomb go off eventually. He's just baiting them out. Time is on his side as well. He drops to FNX, and the defuse already happening. What an insane retake here from the remaining Luminosity members. That was a huge round from Fallen and FNX.
Fallen. It's just Fallen. He's this ridiculous opper. When it gets to crunch time, when it's at the end of the round, and it's just, he seems to come alive with that AWP and hit shots that you just wouldn't expect an opper to hit. I mean, that is ridiculous that he actually manages to get those 2 kills out of that situation. And then he had the kit.
And that was also a round where NaVi actually let their sort of excitement get the better of them. They figured this round is done with. We're in a 2-on-4. We're not going to lose this. And they did. If they had stayed and played safely and defensively, there was nothing that LG could have done. That would have almost certainly been it.
Yeah, and Guardian pushes in top banana, or at least he pushes here at bottom banana, tries to pull a fast one on Luminosity. No chance for his teammates to get in behind him either for the refrag. So bit of a free start here for Luminosity. It's going to be looking much better for him. Fallen could have had that AWP. He does have it now, doesn't he? No, Fur is going to be backing off. So no AWP. I mean, Luminosity had it anyways from Fallen saving it in the last round. But they could have had the option to go for a double. Still, Navi not done yet. They're just pushing up the top mid now, getting the info. They've got the smoke down to block off short, looking for a bait shot there, but not going to find it. And now this is Luminosity's round to lose at this point.
FNX going to be excited. He was just in that corner. Now they Molotov it, and he's not there. So just dodging a little bit of death. Fallen going to fall back, and not quite quick enough, and Zeus will be dropping him. A little bit of movement failure there. I think Taco does a lot of damage to 2 players, but I actually get the kill. FNX, he might have set it up for it, though. That's going to be a quick double kill for him, and 3rd one could be coming in if Edward shows himself. Looks like this round will be working out for the Brazilian team. About 20 seconds here. Ball making its way in. Cold. Actually, what was that? Strafing headshot back around the corner, and Edward going to be alone.
Don't even know. And Edward is actually going to be backing off the save. Can he find Guardian's AWP down here? It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like he's even going to try.
Oh.
Yo, there it is. He found it. What a save.
Counter-terrorist.
Okay, then. Well, this isn't too bad, at least. Is he really going to go for the jump victory bell shot? Okay, then, Edward. But a little bit of frustration there, no doubt about it, for NaVi. FNX is also so good at finding those little clever angles on that A spot to hold off on short. He's either boosted up on the box real close right there, the big box right on the edge of the site. He likes to get up in that angle, but then to stand up boosted on the box and middle on wooden box like that, that's not something you see every day. He really does have these this nice little timing as to like when he uses these different positions to really mess with his opponent's heads. 2 kills for him. He basically ends the round right there.
And NaVi's just based off of the one saved AWP here, they buy an extra AK, a lot of armor and pistols, and a lot of grenades as well. So they want to keep the pressure on. They know that they keep doing a little bit of damage to Luminosity, and they want to keep fighting. And they did the same thing on Dust 2. They came out on top and ultimately won that map. So you can't really blame them too much for wanting to keep the pressure on here. Fallen opening shot on Guardian, though. That's a good battle to be winning.
It's surprising that there was no flash or anything there to try and set it up. Now Fallen gets flashed, but nobody there to follow up on it. Fresh smoke goes down here from Cold at top banana. That pretty much locks NaVi out here. 50 seconds left. And what is the nade situation? Well, not a whole lot to work with here on the B side. At least Cold has got 2 flashes, so he'll be looking to get into a position to be able to pop those out there, create an opening for Fallen to peek with. But there is no smoke. There's no Molotov. It's Taco with the molly, and he's over on the A site right now. So this is all going to come down to that initial shot, and Fallen gets tagged through the box, down to 10 HP. They know where he's playing from as well. He's flashed, but Cold is there to hold the line. Zeus takes out Fallen, and it's all going to be on Cold, and he's roasting alive. Not going to be able to stay alive long enough, but he still takes one with him. Cold's so consistent at just picking up these kills.
Yeah, very good job on Cold here. And Fur going to be going down eventually. Edward now alone in a 1-on-2. He spots one man. He's realized, yeah, he does now. There's a second guy in construction as well. He's got a couple of flashbangs. He could buy a little bit of time, and he just realized as much. Underhand throw in once, goes for the peek, actually bumps into the corner, and that probably got him killed. I think he wanted to try and play from behind there and avoid the fire. And speaking of fire, the initial Molotov that goes down to oranges doesn't hit Cold's position, so he is allowed to stay there for a little bit longer, and that's a really big problem. That opened up so much. Look, you can see here, it's only when he sort of strafes into it that he actually is touched by it, so that makes a really big difference. So NaVi, couple of grenade fails, and that was a bit scary.
Potentially cost them a round. Every time they go onto that site, Cold is trading 1 for 1. Like, it's not like he's just getting caught out and he gets nothing out of it apart from the information. He's still doing damage every time to NaVi. He's so consistent. Now Fallen gets right up the top banana. He's going to be stuck here in this corner, though. He's going to get roasted down to 44 HP. That's not too pleasant. Yeah, that's a little painful. This is going to be the force out of NaVi. 3 rifles, few Tech 9s, and Fur doesn't stick around. Wise play from him. Wise play, rather. He's going to be just backing off, changing up the angle. Misses the first shot, but then that sets it up for FNX, who's going to go in for a spray. 2 kills for him, and Fur there to hold the line. But no, Flamey, another double kill for him.
Very well played. Cole lining him up, though. Second one, a headshot there on Edward, and seized. Well, he falls down. He makes some noise. Taco, he should have heard that, but actually just hesitates for a little bit, and he's going to be able to pick up the rifle here, and a couple of grenades. Would be great if he had the bomb. The fact that he doesn't is still going to make this round very tricky for him. And a nice call on NaVi as well. They hear the AWP over at Banana, and they just rush middle.
And he just goes charging through, but that crossfire is established. Even if you manage to flash the man holding Arch, it doesn't work for him. And so NaVi, they're trying to force it. They really are trying to keep that pressure up. At this rate, I wouldn't even be surprised to see them go for a force in this situation, but excellent. They were right on the edge, and they're just going to go for the quasi-buy here. Just guarantee a solid buy in the next round. What's Guardian's money like? Oh, he's down to 1,400, though. That's a bit nasty. They need to get a bomb plant here.
That would go a long way to helping them out. But, I mean, if you look at Luminosity's economy, this still makes sense for NaVi to keep doing. If they had a lot of money on the LG side, maybe it would be a bit suicidal here, but it actually kind of does resonate with the CT side economy. For 9 rounds in, and we're still just a 5-3 scoreline here. It's still a very close game. NaVi there by far on the less favored side. If they can bounce up to 5 or 6 rounds here, I think it's going to get very tough for LG.
I agree. That's all they're aiming for right now. And with a play like this, NaVi, they could have a chance, but then Fallen finds the pick on Flamey. That was a bottom banana. There's the peek. Cold goes through, gets that spray, does massive damage. 2 kills for him, and it's going to be down to Guardian now. Last man alive here. And there really isn't too much hope for him. He's going to try and flash his way through. Cold is there to greet him. And a 6th round on the board now for Luminosity, who are starting to pick up steam. They're getting that momentum. It's all on this round here for NaVi to just break them, because they did go for the save, the quasi-buy here for NaVi, so they will have a full buy in the next round. This is the problem, though, is that now Luminosity, yeah, going into this, you can start to see that they're stacking up incendiaries. Only 2 incendiaries, though. I'm a bit surprised by that. You would think that, yeah, there we go. Taco actually chucks a flash out just to get another one. You really want to have that incendiary smoke combination to work with here on the CT side. With all these choke points, those incendiaries will just work wonders for you.
Ooh, bit of a dangerous spray coming through from Fur, but nothing returned on the other side. And they do have a double stack going in here with FNX trying to see if he can spot on over. They're going to be flashed through. Fur still alive in here, but he's going to go down to Zeus. And now FNX falling back. He's alone on the bomb side. And NaVi, are they going to commit to this push? They're actually just going to run in here. FNX spraying one, and he's only going to get the 1 kill. That could have been a great double. Now they're in a lot of trouble here on the LG side. And Taco, he darts in, gets a kill, runs out again for a 3-on-3 retake.
Oh, and a great shot from Edward there. Man advantage now for NaVi. Taco really trying to force it. He had to take a bit of a risk. Wanted to get in there fast and see if he could bring it back, but just Molotovs, all sorts of Molotovs going in here from NaVi, and that's Cold. He's going to press forward. He gets that opening. He wants to take advantage of it. Still a man alive in the back of the site. It seems like Cold knows this. So in dark corner, Edward's just going to be dancing. Sees, might just jump right on top of him, and there it is. Down to 2 HP, then dead, and Cold's going to press forward, finds the shot. No, it's fallen. Takes out Edward, and it's going to be down to Flamey now, holding from Banana. Gets liked, and a follow-up shot from Fallen there to seal it up, and just enough time for the defuse as well. So close here each time.
This is a ridiculous round, all right? The Molotov that goes into yellow and forces C's down is obviously what helps get the kill. The fact that the Molotov that gets thrown from Banana actually doesn't even land on coils. It doesn't connect, it blows up mid-air. That allowed Cold and the rest of LG to get so much more time in. This shouldn't have been their round, but just, again, a couple of cool things. The Molotov that doesn't land on coils, and then the one that does land in yellow from LG's side, that's what makes this round.
So I'm assuming this is a tactical pause here for NaVi. And that's, so they're trying to slow things down here. They realize that Luminosity is starting to get a bit of momentum going their way, that things are starting to work out here for the Brazilians. So NaVi, it's all just going to come down to tweaking, because a lot of these rounds are very close. Just a couple of details need to get ironed out, because it always seems to be coming down to a 1v1, a 2v2. And so NaVi, they're really close to piecing it together right now. And you can see Zeus doing a lot of the talking. Starks, not so much. And we look to Starks as well, because he's the in-game leader now for NaVi. He's the man calling the shots. But I'm wondering if this is more of a pep talk for Zeus, you know, because there's a lot of hand-waving going around, and usually when that's happening, it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I actually get the sense that they are sort of a fairly emotional team, NaVi, at times. You know,
What's Guardian giggling about?
I don't know.
I think they like my Zeus impression. All right.
Where are we going to be at here? 7-3 on Inferno. I mean, it was a quick and done deal on Dust 2. NaVi just shot LG out of that map.
I mean, the only 2 people who have bank on Luminosity right now, and there's only 2 of them, right? The rest of them are very low on money. So this is still easy mode is not out of reach for NaVi. And when I say easy mode, I mean when Luminosity are going to be limited on nades, they're not going to have the kits, you know, they're going to be low eco. I mean, it's still possible here for NaVi to win 1 round and just set Luminosity back and be poised to take, you know, a few in a row, which would be perfect for them to end this half. That's exactly what they're trying to figure out right now. And they got that bomb plan in the last round, so they should have enough money for a max buy here, for a full buy on NaVi's side. Just curious to see if they want to try and go more towards like some kind of A execute rather than just straight up running into B round after round. But then it's so tantalizingly close for them, Anders. They're just feeling like we keep getting the plant, guys. So why aren't we just locking down the rounds? Because we're getting onto the site. Sure, we may trade 1-for-1 with Cold, but you know what needs to change here to actually be able to get onto it?
Well, I mean, I think one of the big rounds that they could have had, which would have forced LG to eco, is the one where they play a 2-on-4. And they end up giving it away, where Fallen gets a good triple kill and FNX gets a double kill. That's actually one of those huge swing rounds in this half here. And NaVi just need to not do that. You're right, though. I mean, if you can play the T side of Inferno so that you always end up in like a 2v2 with the bomb down, the fact that you lose that 2v2 means you should probably keep doing it. Like, if you can get that close all the time, then that's worth doing, because most teams fail much further than that, much earlier than that. We saw some examples of that earlier today with CLG trying to even make their way into a bomb site, and they didn't even do that half the time. So.
Yeah, and it's like when Luminosity are still having the nades, the money for nades as well, like that incendiary smoke combo, and you're getting that close. I mean, it's supposed to be like, that's when you get into hard mode, where the game just gets so much more difficult on T-side Inferno, because those CTs having those nades to buy more time and really force down the clock. It's just that, you know, NaVi don't care about the clock, Anders. Like 15 seconds left in the round? Ah, yeah, okay, that's good. We can work with that.
LG2, once they get onto the terror side, are going to be probably going to be similar.
What I do like from I mean, NaVi have also right now got to be talking about the patterns that are happening in Banana. The Luminosity, though, they're doing a good job of shaking it up. It's bottom smoke, it's bottom smoke, smoke in front of car. They're varying, you know, how they're holding it, so it's making it a little bit difficult for NaVi to latch onto a pattern and that they can break. So that's something that right now NaVi are definitely going to be trying to think about. Going into second mid to mid as well for NaVi. They're doing a good job of getting up there. But then Luminosity are also falling so far back to the site that, yeah, NaVi get that, they get control of mid, but then, you know, getting onto the site, FNX is there to bop them in the nose, or Taco is there from pit. So these are all like problems that NaVi need to try and find a solution for, and we should be getting back into the game now.
Well, we've got some stats coming in for Fallen as well. You know, definitely been doing a pretty good job here. I mean, not super explosive, but I think he's been pretty consistently hitting some of these shots here. And
yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing with Fallen. What's crazy is he has that one big round, right? You know, so when Fallen shows up, he's not always showing up in all the rounds, but when he does, it's in the one big swing round that's going to determine the half. If he had lost that clutch situation, you know, Luminosity, we could be looking at NaVi with 6 rounds on the board easy.
Yep.
So it's just like, that's what's crazy about Fallen. It's just not every round that he shows up, but when he does, it's in the round that really matters for his team.
Well, here we go, 7-3, and Fallen, speaking of which, is over at Banana again. Top, Molotov going to go in there, not going to touch him just yet. So, actually, there we go. Shots come in from C's to open it up. Fur going to be taking down Edward, and Flamey picking up a kill on Taco. Looking good for a beginning here for the NaVi team, and Cold, the top fragger right now for LG, is gone.
Well, that ends it now. NaVi have to know that they can get onto the site for free. That they should be able to get out onto the B site. Yep, they just go charging straight onto it. Bomb starts rotating over. They're going to get a B site plant for free. And yeah, this is a nightmare, actually. They should have had communication there as well from the man lurking. That's Flamey, who just came out of apartments. He's clearing out the site. Would have thought that he was close enough to short to hear them stomping around there,
He was.
So he's hoping to just catch somebody out. If he can find a kill here on one of these 2 Luminosity players, that's going to be fantastic. Because again, Luminosity, it's just like they have big money on 2 players, but the rest of them are fairly low. So each of these rifles is so valuable for the Brazilians.
Almost 100% sure Flamey was worried that they'd faked him with the sound, because you can obviously run and then sort of, you know, stop running and walking back again. So I think he was worried that they'd try to fake him out and gone back to top mid, because they knew where he was as well. He'd obviously just taken a fight up there. So
well, fair stomping around, that might give it up. Curious to see if the man's going to be peeking there at the bottom. FNX might walk right into Flamey, and yep, they both trade headshots, but turns out the AK hits just a bit harder than the M4. So 1 rifle saved. Fallen has enough money for an AWP. The rest of them are going to be able to get those rifles. And Fair can go for a full buy. But yeah, not kits across the board. A little light on nades for 2 of them. So this is that key round. This is that make or break moment here for Luminosity again. Fallen was there to save them last time, but they're going to have to come up big here, or NaVi are just going to stomp all over them.
yeah, a very scary point in the game. Again, they're a whole map down, Luminosity, so they really need to make this like an 11-4 half. That would be a very acceptable first half finish here, but once we get into 10-5 or 9-6, then that's where it gets really painful for the Brazilian side.
This is just a sick play here from Luminosity. This is one of their go-tos. NaVi might be aware of that. Yep, there's the first shot, 1-for-1 trade, but then Fair below. He's gonna pick up the second man. Seas just goes charging through that smoke. Guardian doesn't land a point-blank shot from Boiler onto Taco, but it's still a man advantage here for Luminosity. There is a man flanking. That's Flamey coming out from apartments, and he's gonna get the free kill on Fair, who was pinned down, nowhere to go, and not worrying about his back. He couldn't turn his back to Guardian. So it's gonna be Fallen rotating right through mid, and he spots Guardian jumping away, and he hits the shot, drops the bomb. And that's going to make a big difference here. Now it's all on Flamey and not for long. Cold is there. And what a performance from Luminosity to hold their own and go for just the perfect time to use that kind of setup. Just to get that boost up on the roof on short. That is so nasty from Luminosity.
That was so scary as well. With Fallen pushing through the smoke like that, imagine if Guardian had been on the other side, just if he realized that he was being hunted or that hunted that much. Well, again, right at the edge, right when they're about to eco, that's when they turn it around now. It's going to be 8-4, and they've gone for a bit of a force here again. NaVi, they didn't get the bomb plant. They've got 3 AKs and 2 pistols and a lot of armor, and we'll see if that's going to make the difference for them here. I mean, this is now NaVi gambling a lot of what's rest of this half on this one round.
And they're being very careful right now, Luminosity. I mean, Fallen is in a bit of a tough angle, but he can fall back, so he wouldn't get overwhelmed by Tech 9s if this was a force buy. And Luminosity right now, they're all playing fairly far. They don't want to be exposed to a rush. If NaVi come crashing around a corner, you can just see them, they continuously give ground. Now it's a double setup here in pit for CT. One man holding on Archie, gets that incendiary down with that HE. FNX goes charging through, they line up, and he mows down 2. That'll work just fine for him.
Oh, the Molotov there doing a lot of damage to Zeus as well. They still got a strong hold on this bomb site for the LG side. NaVi going to have a really hard time breaking through, especially being a man down. They do have a Molotov on Zeus, so maybe they could clear somebody out of pit, but not sure what they're doing right. They really want LG to make a mistake and come and look for them. And the Brazilian team, they're unfazed at the moment. They're just going to stay where they are. Taco up in Graveyard, spots out a guy in apartments here. So now they're probably all going to focus him. He needs a little bit of backup here. He's going to go down to Guardian Fur. There with a kill. Guardian following up with a second shot of the round for him. Bomb still not being planted, and Guardian is going to drop it. Now it's Zeus with 11 health.
And I'm amazed at the slow rotation as well, because that should have been the bomb spotted in apartments. So Fallen getting to the party pretty late here. Incendiary goes down on short. That's going to block Fallen off a little bit, but he's going to take advantage of that to work around it. And Zeus being so low, I mean, it doesn't really matter if Fallen's going in there with an AWP. And yeah, there it is. Shot missed. Fallen looking for the wall bangs at this point. He's hoping to get lucky, and he's going to spot the shot. Decides to re-challenge as well. He's down to 80 HP, and Zeus holding this angle, goes jumping up on the box and clutches it for NaVi. Fallen could not hit the flick fast enough to save himself there. And what a big round from Zeus. Manages to come through. He spots out the key information there. That man holding up in Graveyard made it possible for Guardian to get in there and get the work done and keep him alive, because Zeus only had 32 HP going into that bomb site.
And you've got to appreciate as well the value of information in a game like Counter-Strike. If Fallen had known that he was on 11 health at the end, you know, no doubt he's going to just take his pistol out and kill him very quickly. But he didn't, and he thought this AWP was going to be the best choice, which if Zeus had been 100% healthy, it probably would have been. So that's, yeah, just a lack of information, not necessarily anybody's fault, but that's definitely a valuable idea there. Now, 8-5, moving into the 14th round here. We're near the end of this first half of the second map. Nice refrag from Taco. We're going to be taking down Flamey. A little bit of spam through, not going to damage him too much, but NaVi, they have to be stopped here. Again, 5 rounds is probably workable for NaVi. They know now they're in the sort of, not the safe zone, but at least comfort zone. More than this, and it's going to get ugly.
Good management there of the rifles as well by Edward. Just a thing to note, he loses his teammate, doesn't want to leave a Galil lying around. He just chucks that off the map, so nobody from Luminosity can sneak around there and pick up a rifle to use against them.
No scavenging.
No scavenging allowed. This isn't Fallout. And I mean, as far as NaVi are concerned right now, this should be a situation, well, yeah, it should be a decent situation, except that Zeus just walks right into FNX's crosshairs. Taco's still alive in pit, but they know this now, NaVi. Not going to fall. They should not fall prey to him. With the 5-7, he could do some damage, but Seized playing very patiently and guarding with the AWP there to snap FNX out of it. And so that is going to be down to Cold and Fallen. And they should, well, at this point, just be setting up for those exits. They do have a kit on Fallen, but he has no Kevlar, and while Guardian holding long, picks off Cold immediately. So it really is just going to be Fallen hoping to get lucky with this shotgun. If they just run right into him, it'd be perfect. But NaVi already scouting for a way out. And now that they've got it, it's not going to be ideal here for Fallen.
No, definitely not. This is a really rough turn of events because it was looking good for Luminosity. They won some really big clutches to try and keep themselves ahead, but now at 8-6, and I mean, going into the last round as well, they're going to have money, but it won't be a perfect buy from them, I expect. And NaVi, what a comeback into the game for them here. Zeus as well, leading the charge at 13 kills.
Yeah, Zeus, I mean, and that's after Zeus having a bit of a poor performance on Dust 2 to start things off. So good to see that he's able to come back around. I guess that arm waving during the pause, you know, helped, you know, get that adrenaline out, you know, calm him down. I mean, we're looking right now to Fur and Taco, who are struggling a little bit. And that might be influencing NaVi as well. You know, if they notice, oh, wait a second, both of these guys, they're playing on this site. Maybe we should just go into this site because they seem to be struggling a little bit. Could be a detail that comes back to bite Luminosity. But this is going to be a forced buy now for Luminosity. And NaVi, they're putting some pressure up here at top Banana. And a nice nade goes on to Fallen. He drops down to 31. He hasn't even seen anybody yet.
Well, he might be the only one who can actually do anything here, except that he's so low on health. But I mean, he's got a max 7, and they see the grenade coming through. They know he's close, and they want to get in there, try and see if they could maybe trap him. They're going to run through their own Molotovs right onto Fallen. And actually, Fur is here with a CZ, going to take the 1 kill in here. He's going to get just fired away all the way into construction. Bomb is going to go down here, and it's going to be a really tough retake.
Yeah, now it gets tricky. They had a moment there, perhaps. Still, Fur able to pick up one. He's done some damage to another, and there's Zeus getting taken out. So now they have the smoke. They could try and create some space to work with. Fer also has the flash. He's trying to make up his mind as to which he wants to use, and that costs him. Guardian will take out FNX. Flamey removes Taco. Flamey with the double. And this is just, well, over now. Luminosity, it's all on Cold in a 1v2. No kit, time ticking, and Guardian with the last shot of the half. A fantastic score here for NaVi at the end of the first half. It just doesn't look to be getting any easier here for Luminosity. And again, NaVi, they put their heads down and they tried to bowl their way through. But once that pause comes through, once that timeout comes through, they have that moment to breathe and figure out what is working, what isn't, and they just take control of the rest of the half. 7 rounds on T-side Inferno. It's a whole lot. I mean, they're going to have a huge head start going into the CT side.
A bit disappointing, I think, for the Brazilian side, and I'm no doubt they expected more out of themselves as well. Now, they obviously got to win the pistol round here. They're gonna go for what? 4 armors and then all grenades on Fallen. So no kind of raid boss build. It's all Glocks here. This is dual elites though on Zeus. He's ready for this.
Looks like a similar approach. I mean, flash selected here from Fallen, so probably a flash straight into mid. Allows for his teammates here in second mid to push through. And Guardian holding that angle, but he can still back off. And that's exactly what he's going to do. A little bit of time spent there for NaVi. Then they decide to get out. Guardian goes for the repeat, though, and he gets punished. So now Luminosity, they actually have that to go off of. They know that somebody's tagged up here on the A site. The thing is that you still have Edward lurking up in apartments, so that could be a little nasty if Luminosity, they don't clear this out. There's the risk of a backstab coming through. And yeah, Edward hears the steps. He knows that Cold is close, or at least somebody is close.
You gotta wonder, I mean, this could be a very powerful position for Edward, but if they end up pushing B and he's sort of not realizing it, then he's gonna be a little bit further away as well. So we're about to find out here. C's playing a bit of a distraction. There is a guy hiding in sandbags, and that's Flamey as well. Are they even gonna check this corner now?
Oh yeah, and that smoke is perfect. It goes just deep enough to block him off. So Flamey can actually go through this. There is C's with the 5-7, finally gets one, but then Flamey's alive behind the sandbags, and he's here to eviscerate them. Cold picks him off mid-air, though. And now it comes down to the 2 remaining players here. A 2-on-2 situation. Edward with full HP, but Guardian, he got dinked earlier. He really doesn't have a whole lot of health to work with.
No, so maybe Edward is going to have to do a lot of work here, but he's very good with pistols. We've seen that in the past as well. Going to be looking in here. Cold with a bit of a jump in the background there, and Edward looking for a tricky headshot. That would have been incredible. He's still trying, but time is running out here for the CT side. They've got to move quick. Guardian low. Edward going to hit the one headshot. They're getting closer, and Cold is going to be gone. What a retake here. Have they got the time without the kit? It seems like they do. I think they've just got it, yes. And NaVi. That's a very, very important pistol round, and now things are going to get tough for them, for Luminosity. And
It's a calamity.
I've got to say, I mean, Seized almost threw that round away for them. Like, he was so close with the 5-7. That should have been an instant headshot on the first one, and then he should have continued.
Yeah, it's the way that it works, that angle and how it's so close, and the back turned as well, so much harder to hit that headshot. Yeah, that's a nerve-wracking moment, and Caesar might be kicking himself there because he knows that he probably could have got more if he was just one step back, one step further back from that smoke. It could have been perfect for him. But luckily, Flamey was there to save the day. Still get 2 kills out of that situation. Nice little peek there from Cold. Perfect timing. He actually manages to tag Zeus down, and they go wrapping straight up to Arch. Now NaVi are denied information somewhat. Edward takes out FNX. He pushed up short, and I think that was the bomb. So we already have, that rotation coming out now from NaVi. They're going to get over towards this A site. They just don't have any information about Arch, so the guys rotating have to be really careful, and there it is. Fer already takes that fight, but he will get taken out by Guardian.
It could have been a bit tricky, you're right, though. Don't want to give up anything as silly as a kill to just sort of rotating. And they don't really even need to rotate this many people in. I mean, I understand they know where the bomb is, but still, why give up so much of the map for no good reason? But they're going to end up losing just one person, so still a pretty good round here for NaVi. They're not going to be too worried about this one. And they're also getting dangerously close now to this end of this map, potentially 9-8. But Luminosity, they've got the rifles, and they've got the one Galil here on Fallen.
Guardian, are you really going to hold on to that UMP? Yeah. You have the money. You know they're going for a buy.
They're feeling it now.
Yeah, this is where Guardian can start getting into beast mode. Lack of respect is total. Well, 4 rifles still here for NaVi. They all have the incendiaries, they have the smokes, they have everything they need here. NaVi to just be a nightmare for Luminosity. And Luminosity, well, they decided not to challenge him Banana early on. Instead, they're focusing on mid, and they could get set up here to get well, to try and push in and see if they can't catch somebody out on Navi's side. But Navi were thinking that there was going to be some action B. They are getting a little bit twisted over in CT. Two guys kind of bumping into each other, trying to figure out where they need to be on this map right now. This is the stage where Navi are just trying to peek around, poke around, find some info.
Good so far saving of the grenades on the Navi side. You can tell 50 seconds. They still got, what, 3 smokes and 3 molotovs. So one of them just being used here. Now smokes are going to rain down. This is signaling what might be an archway push, but in fact they're going to wrap around back towards Banana right now. And look at Navi. They're not buying any of this. In fact, they're going to go and check and see that there is no push in middle except for one person. That's Cold waiting here. Guardian going to go for the peek out. A bit of a fight going on, but it's in the B-bomb side. Guardian wins that one. Oh, this is a disaster for LG.
Yeah, they go for the full burning ring of fire onto the site, but then Seized is ready and waiting, and he gets the bow down. 2 kills and backs off, stays alive, and that sets it up for that 1-2 combination punch. Flamey comes in, gets his piece of the action, and the way that it worked out, the fact that Guardian is close enough at Arch to not hear any steps. Once those smokes go down, he's close enough not to hear anybody going through Arch. And he's like, okay, well then I'll go ahead and peek mid. I've got a UMP, I don't have anything to lose. Walks in there, sees only one man. It just all works out perfectly for Navi to just be ready and waiting for Luminosity to come running onto that site.
Yeah, that's just calling their bluff at that point in time. Saying, okay, you've got the mid control, you had it, you threw all the smokes like you would once you had mid control. Are you actually coming? And then obviously they weren't, and at that point in time, for Seized to follow it up, and they're not even in position to get Molotov out. They weren't even at Oranges where those Molotovs went down in the B-bomb side. Making life very tough indeed here for the Luminosity team. That's going to make it a 10-8 scoreline. And Zeus with a bit of an early grenade coming out here from us. Shooting Taco in the back, but they did lose Edward in the meantime. Bomb still on the other side.
Yeah, Guardian is there to watch for the Arch push. There will be a smoke going down that could set it up for the plant. The bomb carrier gets dropped, though, and Zeus goes back for more. Nearly takes out Fallen in the mix. He's doing big damage, but he just can't quite find the kill. Instead, it's like an afterthought. Goes back to the FAMAS. He's like, oh, I had 5 bullets left in this. Hold on. Not done yet.
A bit more. Just a bit more.
Frustrating for Luminosity, though, that the smoke goes down. They had the proper smoke. I'm kind of surprised not to see somebody just get into that smoke and try and stick the plant. Because the whole point of that round is to just get that bomb plant and get that bonus money.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of money, if we bring up the scoreboard here for now, I'm just wondering if Navi, yeah, they do have a lot of money. They're in that, smoke and Molotov range now, and actually they're going to push down here. Edward by the bench in the middle, and a couple of people, oh, they saw the gunfire there, and Edward going to go down. So, yeah, I guess backup wasn't quite possible because of the smoke that was at top mid. And at that point, it gets really awkward.
Yeah, that was really awkward for Edward. He had to trade 1-for-1 there. I'm really surprised. Nearly gets the angle right there, Zeus. That would have been the thing of beauty to actually bring it back. And now it comes down to Flamey having to take a risk. And FNX, he saw it coming. He knew, but he doesn't win the duel. And Flamey can now back off and turn this into a 4-on-4. He's alone on that B side as well, so something to keep in mind there for Luminosity, who just keep, hammering away at mid. They want to keep that pressure up on NaVi, make sure that NaVi are using all their smokes, using as many nades as possible so that Luminosity, who have all the nades in the world, they have so much to work with. It's just going to be that much easier to go onto a site. And with 45 seconds left, it's starting to get to that time here for Luminosity to make that decision. Bomb is still waiting close to Banana, though, so...
Oh, look at this dirty stack that's
Nasty.
coming out. Seized just with a bit of a tower. Actually spots someone at the bottom of his monitor. That's almost unreal, but they line up for Fallen. Seized and Zeus, they were so closely connected, they ended up bumping into it. They couldn't separate Semler and end up going down. So is Guardian. And, well, that's pretty much around here.
Well, that was awkward.
That was a bit strange. It went from being, very elegant with the boost, look over the smoke and everything, and then I don't know what happened afterwards.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on C's face there. He knows how close he was to just ruining Luminosity. If he could have found that kill through the smoke, it would have been a totally different picture. Luminosity wouldn't have had a way in, but 2 kills, of course, makes it perfectly reasonable for Luminosity to just wrap onto that A site, and nothing really Guardian can do about it. So now Fallen has an AWP to work with. We'll be feeling pretty good about that. And, well, this isn't the end of the world for NaVi because, yeah, we looked at their money earlier. They still have plenty. Even after this bomb goes off, Edward, he'll have enough to buy for himself if he wants. So this is still just fine for NaVi. It could actually work out to the point where Luminosity are going to be in a bit of a tight spot if they were to lose the follow-up round. Well, let's see now. I mean, question is, NaVi, they really were trying to just mess with Luminosity's head. That timing to go for an aggro round really just backfired on them completely. So I'm curious to see if NaVi are going to try and play a much more stable passive style now that the gamble didn't work. Is that going to teach them a lesson, or are they going to still are they still going to try and bully Luminosity a little bit here with some aggro?
Maybe on Banana they could try and play a bit aggressive. I think the rest of the map maybe not so much.
Yeah, they went for the triple. They went for 3 over in top Banana early on, NaVi, so they want it to be they're in position in case Luminosity tried to go for a rush. They want to challenge Luminosity. So the challenge didn't work in mid last round, so they decided to take the fight over here at Banana. And it's just going to be Zeus hanging out, although I'm surprised to see that they don't rotate an extra man off of here back towards that A side. And yeah, Zeus is going to start making his way over here. After he uses his smoke, he will rotate over towards the A side. We could even have a second man rotate over towards the A side here.
And they're sticking around in B for quite a long time. This is a bit scary, isn't it?
Ouch.
Well, so is that grenade. I don't even know what that was.
Oops. Cold was like, yeah, that was my teammate's nade, Anders. And I just took 20 damage to the face because of it.
Well, no one was up in apartments for NaVi, so wouldn't have done any damage to any enemies anyway. But still, a little bit frustrating. And look at this. I mean, Luminosity have essentially done nothing so far. They haven't checked apartments. They don't know if someone's up there. They've got 30 seconds left, and they're obviously going to try and see if they can firebomb at that bomb site. And actually, one of the players over here will be in some trouble, so that's going to be a bit interesting. Then one of them has to move all the way in the back lines. It's probably going to come down to, well, Flamey is there, and then Seized is going to have to do a lot of work here. Zeus in the middle, loses the fight to Fur. Now we're going to get underway here. Seized, I think he's going to have a lot of work to do. Flamey, actually, they didn't throw the Molotovs, so that's a big mistake. Flamey picking up a double. There's no time. They can't win this round. It's done. 3 seconds, 2. Fallen just has to stay alive here with the AWP. Down in yellow. What was that? Oh, he gets the parting shot. That's something, but they had all the Molotovs to get rid of Flamey, and then it would have just been Seized in the corner. That was essentially the build-up for a good round for LG, especially when Fur wins the fight in Archway, and then it all crumbles because of lack of Molotovs.
Lack of Molotovs, lack of time, leaving it down to like, what, 30? That smoke went up from NaVi at 30 seconds. So a couple seconds hesitation there lost for Luminosity as well. They have to go through it. It's not pretty. And so that's a key round for NaVi to come back in. Guardian's got his AWP. They've got everything they need here, NaVi, to just shut out Luminosity. Luminosity, though, they're still playing it so patient. Both of these teams on their T side, you know, a lot of the meta, the trend is for the ultra aggression, right? Early on in the round, you know, within the first 30 seconds, you know, there's a fight somewhere. But both of these teams are willing to play the waiting game with each other. That takes a lot of bravery.
That was a good grenade as well. Zeus just randomly putting out Taco, though, was hiding there, and Zeus has just no idea. We could see him for a while, especially with the X-ray, but Zeus obviously couldn't. Edward gonna go for a bit of a fight, takes the first man down. Fallen trying to rotate into position here. They're a man down on Navi's side. They don't want to fight this.
What a battle. And that's after saying, you know, I mean, so much patience, so much patience.
That was just, I mean, yeah, we needed to see that point of view from Zeus without the X-ray, because it was very hard to see how much he could see. But obviously, it looked a bit funny, and Taco sort of realizing exactly where he was. So good play on him. That really opened up the bomb site.
And what's even more frustrating here for Navi is, yeah, they get to save 3 rifles, but they don't get to save Guardian's AWP, so he's going to be back to a rifle in the next round. Or just a Deeg. That could happen as well. 44-50, he's just short. No, Edward has enough to force up. Edward has enough to drop one for him. Okay, so this could still work out for Navi. Luminosity, though, they narrowly dodge an eco situation. And it does look like we're going to get a pause. So a timeout called here. And this might be coming in for Luminosity now, where they want to try and set up. They know how important this next round is going to be. So it might come down to them now to actually, would love to actually hear, get confirmation if it is Luminosity, in fact, calling the pause, calling the timeout. I am seeing Navi, or at least, you know, an admin behind Navi right now. So did they spill something?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. I don't think so. I think I could see it being just a tactical timeout here.
Break that momentum, right? Again, Navi did it at a key moment in the last half, and from there on out, they were able to just carry on, get several rounds more on the T side, turn it into an 8-7 half. So I could see, I mean, I could see it working out like that, but it is, you know, just the pause. We can't see from who.
You gotta. Oh, so it is actually a bit of a technical issue on the Navi side. So hopefully we'll figure that out and get back into the game here. But I mean, this has turned out to be a very interesting Inferno map at 12-10. It could kind of go either way because Navi's economy is not that good, which is why they were just ecoing. So yeah, I guess we're about to find out if LG can actually train some of those rounds together.
Right. Okay, so apparently the reason was that Zeus got a bit excited and tore his hand-warming pad, and so that got all over the desk, and they had to wipe it off. So there you go.
Good
Sometimes
times.
that happens, and you know, that's not what I was expecting, but pause nonetheless. And so, well, Luminosity, they had a little bit of time to talk it over here for this next round, figure out what they want to do, and look at how deep Fair is already. They're going to have to challenge this NaVi. Are they going to be wise about it, though? Fallen is here to watch the angle, and yeah, NaVi, they aren't going to go for it. Instead, it's going to be Fer just committing, taking the fight to NaVi, and he takes out Flamey.
That's a very good start indeed. Now going to cool it down for just a moment. Doesn't want to run through the Molotov. He is seized on the other side. Can he actually get the drop on Fallen? I'm not sure if they're going to realize Fallen. He's got a very tight angle to the top of coils there. Sees the smoke coming in. Is he going to realize? Makes the jump up. Oh, what? He hits that shot on Seized. What a way to open it. Goes for it again. He's going to miss it, but he wants to do more. Zeus is also down low on health as well. I think he may have actually got tagged by that one, and Cold going to take him out. What a ridiculous start here for Luminosity.
This is getting silly. They're just wrecking NaVi across the board. Every single duel going their way, and all of that off of Fair just charging in there and catching NaVi out. Once NaVi realized what could happen, that the boost could be waiting for them at the bottom of Banana, they didn't want to push in, they didn't want to get control, and, well, Fair just decided to take the fight to him. So now this puts NaVi in a very awkward spot. As you guys can see, their money is all over the place. And so it is going to come down to just pistols getting dropped here for teammates and a round of eco coming up here for NaVi, which is definitely not what they wanted. I'm curious. No, they're not going to go for it. I was thinking maybe they try and go for a charge down mid sort of play, try and just get in Luminosity's face, but that's not going to be the case. It's going to be more of a default play here for NaVi. They're going to treat this as a regular round, it looks like, with the pistols. They did invest in a couple of HEs, though, and that might be what they're looking for here. Just HE into mid. Zeus waiting in Boiler. He's going to have the opportunity. They're going to check, of course, and with the aim punch, Zeus doesn't stand a chance. He needed to hit the instant headshot there.
Yeah, so and not a lot that NaVi could do this round. I mean, Edward getting a good kill in there, and they actually are doing a little bit of damage here. Fer going to go down, and right now LG just actually walking in one at a time, which is a little bit sketchy as well. When you've already done a good lot of damage, you've got the kill on Zeus as well. Why not just group up and try and push somewhere together and make sure that you're going to overpower the defense? Now they've given up an AWP and an AK,
and they're really focused on short. And, well, that's going to be FNX drawing their attention in, but this is just exactly the bait and switch. Cold is here. Surprise, surprise, guys. Gets 2 kills and basically shatters it. Defense just completely falls apart, and that kind of leaves Flamey over here, you know, contemplating the Deagle. Why, Valve? The Deagle was so good. We didn't need another gun.
Well, in this particular patch, we don't have one.
That's true, guys. Just pointing that out for all of you at home, in case you're wondering. This is played on the previous patch, so the R8 isn't in. Neither are the rifle changes, the recoil changes, that is, or the pistol changes. That joy is going to be reserved for the beginning of next year, I suppose, or online play.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of time to test everything out. I mean, there's already been obviously a bit of a nerf to the R8, so I guess we'll see where we are going to end up at.
It's surprising there to see Taco hesitate on the AWP. Taco, just get out. Save the gun. There we are.
That's going to tie the scoreline at 12-12 here. Luminosity showing us a lot of strength, I would say, at the end of this half here and in the end of this map, because they really were pretty far behind, and NaVi's economy was even pretty good. They had a couple of solid buys. Now they're right near the bottom, and instead it's the Brazilian economy looking very strong. AWP on Guardian, though, and obviously 1 on Fallen. And if you look at the NaVi side, they've got 4 smokes and 2 Molotovs, so they can't buy time forever this time around.
And again, it's going to be the triple to top Banana here, but Luminosity, nobody going to be there to greet them this time. Instead, waiting at the bottom, Fallen, venturing a shot through the smoke, hoping to get lucky there, but he's not going to get the angle right. And instead, it was Guardian taking the AWP over towards that A site, so I was wondering if he was going to try and challenge in mid, but because NaVi went for the aggression over at B, he's playing it safe. He's got Edward there to watch apartments as well, so Guardian is just going to be holding on short, looking towards Boiler, Edward watching from balcony, and now the defense gets consolidated as Zeus rotates back to that A site. So minute left in this round, and while Luminosity still have all of the utility, they have everything they need. And this is basically their default setup. They have control of apartments now, they have control of mid, and they can decide to go towards Banana if they want. NaVi are just content to sit back, and really this is like the high pressure situation here for NaVi, because if you choose this approach, if you're just going to sit and wait for Luminosity based off of no information, if you miss the shot, you're dead. You're done. So NaVi now all the pressure on them just to land the shots.
Oops.
Yeah, that was a little awkward.
Well, Guardian might have a chance here. Flashbang going to come through. He misses the opportunity. Su's playing at the edge of the smoke, but that's a full commit. If he misses that, he's definitely going to be gone now. Guardian coming into it, gets the one kill in on Cold, and falls back to the next corner. Bomb is still at quad, and there's 20 seconds, so this is definitely going to be an A push. Now, there's no time to run back to B any longer, and right now, maybe Navi should be realizing that. Guardian getting a kill in and falls back to safety. How is he still alive? He's finally going to go down. He takes Fallen with him, and now Edward spraying. Bomb going to go down, but 6 health left here on Fur. He drops to Edward, and that's going to be the round here. What a hero performance from Guardian, though.
Triple from Guardian, 2 from Edward, but yeah, Guardian. And he was so unpredictable as well. They're thinking, great, okay, he's over at Arch now, guys. It's good, you know, rotate in through short. Maybe we can pinch him. And then Guardian's just like, nope, I'm here. And not only that, I'm going to hit a double scoped in shot on you point blank. Yeah, Zeus, that is unfortunate. He really needs to pick up at least 1 kill there. But then Edward, at least he was there to save the day, and, well, they just at least guarantee the bomb plant money there on the Luminosity side rather than trying to go for a win that just wasn't going to be possible. So, once again, we have a pause coming in. This time I do not think it is a technical problem. I think it is Luminosity calling for the tactical timeout. So they're going to be wanting to discuss exactly what they need to do here. On the hold, and so far, I mean...
Yeah, it is a tactical by LG.
yeah, it has to be, but like...
No, I got confirmation.
Oh, you got confirmation? Okay.
Well, I mean, this is one of those things where you get to... It's one of those scenarios where you get to test the depth of a team and figure out if they've got, you know, like something extra, right? This is where you get, you know, especially for Fallen as an in-game leader, and I guess the coach behind him here as well, try and figure out exactly how deep they can go, because it, you know, now you need some strats that will sort of grind out some rounds for you. Otherwise, it's going to get really tough.
Well, they've had success taking over Banana. Even when the aggressive smoke goes down at the bottom of it, they've still been able to get in there, Luminosity, and at least get control and challenge. And then going for the B execute, I mean, that's been working for them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to that strategy, because they are running into Guardian, and well, that Guardian and Edward combo, that might be their ears might still be ringing from that last round. I don't know if you really want to run into them over on that side of the map right now if you're Luminosity. I don't think we need to see anything different from NaVi, though. Unless Guardian wants to try and challenge mid. All that depends on whether he wants to try and face Fallen with the AWP or not, though.
I mean, because NaVi must know that LG are already playing a slow game.
Yeah.
If they just sort of hold back a bit and play it slow, then there is a chance that we're going to have a similar situation as the one that we had in B-Bomb site, where they push in with 20 or 15 seconds left, which is always such a big risk. Even though NaVi and LG are obviously two of the teams that, probably the 2 teams in the world that do it the best, it is still a big risk. And NaVi, because they play the style themselves, they probably have a good idea about what counters it.
Straight yellow B.
Wow.
Yeah, that's, or at least getting some pressure up there again. Yeah, it's just not very subtle, but it worked last time. And this time Guardian is challenging it mid, and he unscopes just as Fallen takes the peek. Oh, that's heartbreaking for Guardian.
Unreal.
That is frustrating. That's like tilt-worthy level right there. Unscope literally as Fallen walks into your crosshairs.
That leaves them a man down, and question is if Navi's going to do anything to sort of compensate for this. Right now they're putting 3 people over at the B-bomb side, leaving just 1 at A. That is a very powerful setup. That's like a round win if they actually come, and they're going to flash their way out. Try and see if they can go for it. Grenade on in. Fallen getting the 1. Kills Zeus with a double spray down, almost a triple. And that grenade could have almost done it as well. Now, Cease is still inside. And the question is, are they going to realize they are taking the bomb back here, but there's still a guy in Arch. And it's Edward in a very good position once again.
Oh, and Edward's right on the edge. This might be terrific for him. He could push in with the perfect timing if he goes through the smoke right now. And FNX turns back just in time to shut him down. 2 times now where the timing just doesn't work for NaVi in a single round, and both of them could have been round breaking. Guardian winning against Fallen means that Fallen doesn't go on to get a kill, you know, basically a kill on the B site later on. And Edward could have been the hero that just completely hamstrung Luminosity on that push for the A site. 2 times there. That's so frustrating for NaVi. Luminosity, though, have got to be feeling elated. That's a great moment for them. FNX turns around, perfect timing for him to save the day.
And I gotta wonder, like, two things. First of all, he did run into the smoke, which means if anyone was nearby, they were gonna hear that. Secondly, he had a flashbang, so he could have gone for like an underhand flash through, right? He had some other tools, like walking or flashing, to try and get through that smoke. But that's all, you know, 20/20 hindsight here.
Oh,
Yeah, that timing is...
that's painful. Zeus tried to do the best that he could. He nearly takes 3 there. But then, yeah, FNX there. That was the perfect timing to turn around and check your back.
Yeah, well, he heard him running through, right? So he's just going to be like, well, sweet, you know, if you're going to do that. I think Edward might have been thinking that they were already inside the A-bomb site, and they sort of wrapped all the way around. So, yeah, just a bit of mistiming. 13-13, we've got a tied game, and a bit of a pause here again. Not sure. I guess we'll get confirmation in a bit what this might be about.
More of a discussion. I mean, I think NaVi now may have a pause open to them. But I do see the admin discussing with Luminosity as well. So both admins waiting in the wings. Does look like this is going to be a tactical, but we shouldn't be. Yeah, we're getting right back into it. So I wonder, just a hiccup, perhaps? I mean, you can hit the pause. After that, it's all about, you know, well, it doesn't really matter in this case. I mean, a little bit of time bought for NaVi to discuss what they want to do. But yeah, now Luminosity, they know that the pressure is on here, and they probably got NaVi on the ropes. NaVi are in an eco situation.
Well, I mean, AWP, match 7 as well. This is a bit scary.
And Guardian is solo on Banana right now. And he hasn't really been over here with the AWP at all. So that could have caught Luminosity off guard. That could have been an opening there for NaVi. And now Luminosity, they have all the freedom to just set up for the execute again. That's worked for them in the past. They're going to be able to put all those Molotovs in. They have everything they need here to just go crashing onto this site. Luckily for NaVi, they've got Seized over here now, so he can help out, but he realizes what's happening. Molotovs just come raining in, and now it comes down to Guardian, but a great time flash there is going to give Luminosity the opening. He's not there to take the peek, and then Fallen has the advantage with the angle.
Wow, a lot invested into this round here, and nothing comes of it. LG with a perfect execute, and there's nothing almost that NaVi could have done there. I mean, it's one of those things where you need the early engagement with the AWP. You need to land a couple of shots there, and then buy time for your teammates to rotate in. So that's now the Brazilian side coming back and taking the round lead at 14-13. This is turning into a very interesting match.
Absolutely. This is everything we hoped for. I mean, Dust 2 was going to be, I mean, after the start, you just saw how it was going to be a little one-sided, a little bit of a straight shot. But Inferno, this is a real battle between two masters of the map. And so Zeus, he might be able to, yeah, he is actually going to be able to hold on to this AK, so that's a great save for him. Every dollar counts going into this round because it's going to be the force here for NaVi to keep, well, to keep Luminosity off of map point and taking this to a third map. So we'll see, do they actually have enough? Yeah, they have enough for a kit on C's. That's going to be very valuable. Another one on Guardian, and he's actually taking the hit, Guardian. He goes for the Deagle just to be able to afford some utility here for the team. But then Guardian, with anything, you give him a toothpick, he's going to get some kills with it. So, I mean, the Deagle, he can definitely do some damage.
Oh, bit of a fight there. Grenade follow-up and Seized with a double refrag there. FNX and Fallen already gone from the map, and this is great. Luminosity, again, their economic situation is not fantastic either. And right at the end of this match here, it's going to be really tricky. Whoever starts to eco now probably ends up losing control. Guardian with a bit of a missed shot. That was a big opportunity, and Cold gets away. What is going on?
They don't even really have to go for the rush. Taco's going to set it up. Senor is going down into pit. Edwards in the perfect spot right now. He hasn't given it away either, but he's going to step in, picks up one, gets the headshot on another, and that sets it up for Flamey, who tries to go for the wall bang, and it's going to come down to Seized. Seized still has the bullets, and he's going to get the job done in the end. 14-14, but you can't have it come down to a 1v1 clutch when NaVi are forcing as it is. Luminosity still have a great shot at locking this out because NaVi, again, it's going to be a low buy going into the next round for them. And this for Guardian, he's going to be kicking himself.
Yeah, that was very scary here, but good job on Flamey and Edward. I mean, it's a bit of an ugly trade, but they buy enough time. And the money for LG, if we bring up the scoreboard here, what is it like? Okay, they actually do have a bit much more of a bank than I thought they would have. So in spite of having traded a couple of rounds here, they've managed to sort of stay alive, I guess, in the rounds that they did lose, so, or that they did win. So very, very impressive. That's really going to help them out here.
Oh,
so
there's no fear.
Could well be overtime at this point, too.
Nice little nade there to just do a little shrapnel damage there to Fallen, and a follow-up onto FNX as well. But again, both of these teams really taking their time with this. This time around, the smoke went to top Banana, and Zeus is going to get forced out of here. He's right on the edge of the Molotov, decides to take the peek, and he gets the kill. Headshot on the follow, but he can't actually back up. The Molotov is keeping him back. The flash goes in from his teammate, but the timing works out perfectly for FNX, and it's a trade, fair trade here. 4v4 now between both of these teams. A lot of utility used, however, for NaVi. They're down to 2-3 nades. 2 of them are incendiaries, and 1 of them is on Seized. Seized and Flamey both, so actually that works out perfectly for the B site.
Yes, and I mean, it's so common as well when you start to lose people on this map to try and go back to B. It's like the default on this map once you soften up the CT side, or you lose them, or you lose the first engagement. So we'll see. Guardian trying to make his way through. The timing is perfect. He walks right in, and Taco going to go down, and he sees nobody else. So now that's a big indication there might be a B push, and actually Luminosity, maybe because of the fact that they got spotted in middle, they're going to charge on back. This is such a quick call here from the Brazilian side. Edward, the only one here. Smoke goes up, but that's the bomb down with 7 seconds left. Edward, second spray as well. What a huge play. And now, well, the bomb is going to be dropped here, but it's Warmax. Edward with the triple spray down. All work with the Famarson. That's going to be match and map point here in favor of NaVi. Wonderful defense.
Yeah, all hail the mighty bearded one. I mean, it's Captain Ahab back. He had the harpoons out, Anders. He got him in there. And well, now NaVi on match point. It's got a bit of a different ring to it than Luminosity with the map point. I might have to come up with a different terminology for that. It is a little too close, but this is huge from Edward. Yeah, we got a little bit of it in the replay there, but the first kill denying that plant forces Luminosity's hand. So nasty. And it was all on him because Luminosity faked out Guardian completely. So now both teams have everything they need, although Fallen does not have an AWP to work with. They have all the nades on Luminosity's side, but NaVi could say the same thing. And Guardian takes that AWP over to B side again here, hoping to catch somebody getting greedy over here on the Luminosity side. But Luminosity, instead of going for their standard default, they're actually pushing all the way up to top mid, all 5 of them. They're looking to change things up here in the last round.
Molotov going to go in here. Still a lot of time, so this is a very fast aggression here coming out from Luminosity. Edward down in the pit, quick trade, but then Flamey comes up with a 1, with a 2, looking for a bit more. Flamey, Edward both going to go down. Now C showing up and dropping Fallen, and it's going to be down into a 2-on-2. We've just crossed the minute mark here in Bomb Plant. FNX, if you could get it down quick, that might be useful. Gonna go back for a flight furl, dropping out. FNX fighting. They're coming in from either side. He's sandwiched in. He gets a headshot on 1 and goes for the reload. We could be seeing overtime here. He's gonna run for the B-bomb side right here with the... Oh no, he's gonna fake it out. He goes back. Realizes that Guardian may have heard that. There's a big mind game going on here.
Yeah, this is sick. This is where it comes down into the clutch. And FNX, he is the clutch man for Luminosity as well. And yeah, exactly. Whenever he's in these 1v1 situations, FNX, he's proven it so far. We saw it at DreamHack Winter as well. I mean, this guy, you want him to be the last man alive for you. He will get the job done. But then, of course, it's Guardian on the other side. And Guardian, he has the kit, and he has a smoke to play with here. So let's see if he can actually pull this off. Of course, FNX not going to peek until the very last second. He wants to run this bomb down as far as possible. He wants Guardian to be stressing out, and he catches Guardian with a nade in his hand. And it will be overtime. Luminosity, they've done it at the end, and again, perfect timing. Guardian's thinking he might be holding in Banana, so he gets that nade out. And then FNX peeks at the perfect time to remove him. That's just a little bit frustrating. That's just a little bit frustrating.
Some good next level stuff there. I mean, out of all the corners you could be hiding in that bomb plant position, that one corner is probably very unlikely for you to check, right? He could be hiding by new boxes, dark corner, coils, banana. It could be almost anything, right? And
we need to see the stats at the end of this, right, for FNX. You know, at the end of this tournament, I'm going to be really interested to see, depending on how Luminosity do. But like in the clutch situations, FNX just comes through every time, it feels like, for Luminosity.
He has been playing very well indeed. We've got 10,000 starting money in MR3 is what it looks like, the overtime format here. So first to 19 rounds is the number that we're looking for here. And obviously they'll play 3 rounds on this side, then they'll swap sides, just like in the regulation, but just a shorter format.
Yeah, and the important thing here is going to be for NaVi to win this first round, to secure that economy. And well, it's not starting off strong. FNX, he comes back to haunt them again. He takes out Zeus. He even had the HE Prime to catch the refrag attempt there. But it's going to be Guardian point blank and seized. He takes out FNX, and just like that, it's a man advantage for NaVi.
Yeah, and it's... Oh, there's a good shot from Flamey right through the smoke. But I was going to say it's good that Guardian got tagged here. Edward going to win the fight against Taco. But, you know, once they get the 2 refrags, there's no reason for them to be fighting Fallen, who will pick up a kill on Guardian. Goes for a bit more. He's going to drop to Edward. But that you could tell it's one of those moments where Guardian is trying to get himself fired up. So he gets the first kill, goes back into middle to fight, and he doesn't need to. He shouldn't be doing that. Because at that point, they are playing a 4 versus 3, and they should just relax.
That's when Guardian just believes he's like godlike, right? Because he gets into that. That's what I mean, right? When he gets really aggressive, he just gets out there and hunts for frags. He wants to take fights. He's one of those aggressive operators who just likes to get in his opponent's faces once he feels confident.
Yeah, and if they were winning hugely, I'd be all right with it. But in overtime, rather play the 4-on-3.
But at least NaVi get over the first hurdle, which is maintain their economy going into the rest of this half. And so now it is going to come down to Luminosity to break it, or at least to break them the hard way here. They need 2 rounds, Luminosity. If they do that, it would be fantastic. And so following, you can see, this has been the go-to strategy as well for him and Luminosity. Just get this boost at top, or at the bottom of Banana, looking towards top Banana. But NaVi know the angles. There shouldn't be any reason here for SCII to peek. He's trying to play the game a little bit to bait out a shot, but he shouldn't be committing. Instead, it's going to be action over here on the A site. Guardian not going to fall for it. So now we have to see, with 50 seconds left on this clock, do Luminosity decide to take it to B site once again?
Well, they got the bomb in second mid still, and they've got a couple of people checking out apartments. So are they going to crawl it back under here again? This timing is going to be scary. There's actually no smokes or Molotov left. This is what I was talking about earlier. NaVi is such a good Inferno team, but they're so bad at saving smokes and grenades in general. So yeah, if they went B right now, it would be beautiful, but it seems like they might not, and that might be a problem here. 3 people holding, including Guardian, mid-air shot, and FNX is gone.
Just like that. Edward's still alive, and Pitt as well, watching towards short. He's got that position again, and this time he can hold it because he knows that he has teammates there to watch his flank. And there's the wraparound on long. Guardian there to pick up one. They're running right into the blender, and there's one after another. They have nothing going for him. Luminosity gets shut out completely, and NaVi now, the first 2 rounds of this overtime going their way. That sets them up just perfectly here for the next one. But yeah, Guardian's so fast.
It's a ridiculous shot.
And I do believe he picked up a man over on long as well. So that's probably what saved Edward. Because Edward is sitting in that position on short because he knows, he at least in his mind, he's thinking that he's got a teammate watching long, so he's safe. He nearly got caught there. I think Guardian was just in time to save him.
I think Guardian's also overtaken everybody else on NaVi for top frags. See a 26 on him, and we'll see if this can continue. The last round of the first half of overtime here. And NaVi doing a very good job here. It's going to get tricky now. Cold already being tacked up just a little bit in the middle. And they just have so little equipment to try and deal with this round. And already Guardian is going to claim another victim.
And yeah, now they get to play it a little bit tricky here. SCII is going to make the dash out. He gets in there into CT. Extra man rotated over here as well. Zeus, perfect timing for him to show up. And he's going to have a smoke as well to block off Luminosity. This is ideal for Luminosity, though. They are managing to force out these nades, and with so much time left on the clock, they could just be patient and waiting this out, but Taco hits the perfect timing, catches SCII with the nade in hand, and there's the opening. Now they push onto the site, and it's going to come down to Flamey, playing behind new boxes. Spots the one man, picks up 2 kills at least, and he turns it into a 2-on-2. This time, Guardian, though, he's not going to hit the mid-air shot.
Oh, but the bomb, there we go. Guardian actually gets the flick. It's going to go down. Guardian with the 2nd and the 3rd kill. And that is going to be the first half of overtime. 3 rounds in favor of NaVi here, and that's just incredible. They even, I mean, he saw him, he knew that if he didn't go for the peek behind new boxes, then the bomb planter would be killed. But you didn't think that Guardian was going to hit that shot, though.
He's just a monster. Flamey as well. I mean, those 2 kills make it possible for Guardian to do what he did. Guardian isn't even, that's what's also crazy about Guardian, though. When he gets so confident, he isn't even waiting for Edward. I mean, he could have waited a little bit. The bomb was just getting planted in front of him, but he saw the opportunity to just end the round right there.
Yeah.
And that's what's really crazy. Just he steps in, and with an AWP, he has 2 shots, and he lands them both. So perfect first half there for NaVi. They lock down their CT side, and now we go into the T side where they need a single round to end this best of 3, to go into the winner match.
FNX and Guardian are tied for score right now. They've both got 29 kills.
FNX, man, he is,
yeah.
I mean, one of the new guys, one of the new pickups. We saw him perform at DreamHack Winter, and he just keeps on coming.
One of the new old guys.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. I mean, he's got a huge history. Been around for a long time, but as far as this roster is concerned,
evidence that you can actually, sort of come back and play again like this. It's interesting, intriguing, because more and more people are doing it.
Yeah. There was a Danish lineup that was
something like that, wasn't there?
Getting in the mix again, right?
Well, double overtime is also a possibility. Guardian going to miss the first flick here. Fallen, no scope, not gonna hit. Cold there for the refrag, and that's very important. And that means he's gonna be alone. Puts down a smoke, Zeus is gonna come charging through. And there's a shot from Caesar. That's a huge opening. The bomb is in there. Oh no, Samler, this could get very ugly here. Luminosity, they don't want to lose the game like this, do they?
That snap decision as well to push through the smoke. They knew there wasn't anybody left on there. So a nice clean bomb plant here. Flamey starting off. More double kill for him. Locks down Banana. And it's going to be down to FNX. 1v3 for him, though. That is a bit tough, and he's messing up nades. Team flash there onto Flamey, but he goes right through the smoke into CT. And a dominant overtime performance from NaVi to end this 2 maps clean. 2-0. Not a single map picked up for an American team today, north or south. Just a brutal performance here from the Europeans, just coming in and, well, I mean, just doing work.
I guess are we going to claim CIS as European too?
Okay, right. One CIS team as well. I mean, I guess it kind of works out the same thing, you know. Okay, they're from the old world, right?
If they get to claim South America as part of NA, do we get to sort of like steal some of CS? Is that how it works?
I like it. I like how you're seeing this, how you're working this out, Anders.
All right. Well, yeah, what a game that was. I mean, and especially on Inferno, it turned out to be very, very close indeed. Guardian having to go sort of beast mode, hyper mode to save that game. But I mean, obviously, Flamey had some really good performances as well, I think.
Flamey, yeah, on Dust 2 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he went ham, Flamey.
Yeah.
It looks like on Inferno as well, just as far as individual performance is concerned. But these aren't just like, you know, they're farming eco frags. No, like these guys are just consistently getting high impact frags that are making the difference for NaVi. Whether they lose the round or win it, it seems to come down to, it seems, at least in this series, to come down to Guardian and Flamey, between the two of them.
Speaking of Guardian, we do have him ready on the stage with Sadicus. So, Matt, take it away.
The beast.
Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, big performance from you guys. A little bit different pace as well. You were pretty dominant the whole way through. We'll start as we did with the maps. Dust 2, back and forth off the start. You guys managed to eco them. And then you guys got away with it. You got the momentum rolling and shut them down completely. Walk us through the map.
Well, we started to play Dust even more than we did because we were pretty bad on that map. Like first half of the year, we couldn't even win a big match on Dusty. So we started to practice to figure out how to play, retake some stuff. So since then, like second half of the year, it got better. But yeah, we still have some problems. But I would say now it's like tier 1 map for us. So, I mean, we are pretty happy with the performance.
Yeah, it's interesting how much depth you kind of have to have in your map pool right now with the current ban 1, play the next, as opposed to the former system where you got to ban out 2, so you could just get rid of the 2 you didn't like. Now you're kind of forced to play one of them. So, cool to note. You guys have played a lot of best of 3s over the year. Inferno. You guys did play a lot faster, though. One of the things I always note about Luminosity, specifically with their older roster, because we haven't seen as much on Inferno yet with the new one, is a 3 Molotov strat, but it relies on getting so much banana control. You yourself were able to shut them down really quick on early picks, though. They never really had that map control.
Well, playing Inferno was something like pretty new for us at LAN events because it's our least played map, and we didn't even practice that much that map, but we had something prepared. And I would say like playing Luminosity was something like we know that it's their strongest map or one of the strongest maps, and they even beat TSM on Inferno, I would say, on the DreamHack. So I mean, it was pretty hard game, and I would say they made more mistakes, and that lost the game for them, I would say.
They were up, I think, 7-2 at one point, and then there was I think it was technical at that point in time, timeout, though. Did you guys take an opportunity? What did you guys talk about to fix that?
Yeah, we had to use that situation. So yeah, we knew that their economy is not that good because it was like two rounds in a row that they had only 1 or 2 alive. So we knew that one breaking round will change the game. So yeah, we talked about what we should do and what's their like weakest point, and yeah, we just did some strategies on that point.
What was that weak point? Because I noticed, like I say, you guys changed the pace quite a bit. You know, flashing through smokes. You guys are known for sort of baiting out utility and attacking late, but flashing through and taking the fight against these guys. What was it that you guys actually noticed?
We knew that their snipers playing pretty much on the B, so it was like 60% that he's playing on B. So it was either playing smoke strategy on B against the sniper, or it was like going to the, I don't know, it's short or to the left on middle, like to the small pit, and splitting A. So yeah, that was the point that we had to figure out.
Well, definitely showed that you did. I've got one more question. I think that's great for the analysts, but I've got a question that's not so much related to this weekend because we're not playing the new patch. But should the round timers stick around, the 155 as opposed to 145, do you think that helps a team like you guys or Luminosity, who are more slower paced, tactical, give you guys that extra 10 seconds to execute late in the round?
I would say it doesn't help us. I would say it's kind of bullshit for me. Like even the bump like 40 seconds, it's a lot. Like playing, let's play matchmaking at 45. It's pretty the same. Like 5 more seconds. It's for me like some kind of bullshit.
But what about the extra 10 seconds in the round itself before the bomb going down?
Well, I won't say it will help that much. I mean, we are camping pretty much like 120, and then we are doing some rounds. So yeah, I wouldn't say it will do that much.
Yeah, just interesting thought that I had, because as soon as I saw that, I thought, more tactical teams, that's what comes to mind. But that said, thank you so much. Congratulations on the victory. Get some sleep. You guys are back tomorrow against Fnatic because, although it pains me to say it, America comes up empty-handed today. I'm going to go wipe my tears away, but while I do that, you guys get to enjoy the lovely comforts of our analyst desk, hosted by Machine.
Thanks very much. Oh, thank you very much, Matt. And you suggest that America's going to be empty-handed. Maybe later on, Canada won't be. You handsome, handsome man. For now, though, we have to talk a little bit about that game. And an interesting one at that. The fact that that was so damn close to going to a third map, you guys called it straight away. You were like, right, third map, it's on the cards. Every single one of you said that was going Luminosity's way, and it looked like it was going to happen. Yeah. Was that NaVi just turning on in overtime?
Yeah, Guardian stepped up really big when overtime started. He was kind of having an average game for him, which is still a great game for most people. And then when overtime started, he just took over. So they just multi-kill rounds time and time again.
Yeah, it's also like what you talk. Even to get to overtime was, at one point we were looking at like 7-2, 7-3 for Luminosity in that first half, and like you mentioned before it started, like they just grind, they get their 3 kills, they hit their quota every round, and then eventually they just, I think your words were they get 3 kills every round, and then eventually they get all the kills. And you could just see at the end of that half, like that's exactly what started to happen, and all of a sudden you blink and it's that gap closes and it's 8-7 for Luminosity. So that's when you start to get a little bit scared. But I mean, for them to make that comeback in the first half, for LG to go into the second half and put up 7 rounds on their own terrace side, force overtime, it's just when you get there, and then Guardian's got his 10K, he gets his all up comfortably every time. He's just beast.
I mean, I think they were beasts. I think FNX's clutch is worth mentioning as well. I mean, this guy has just consistently been picking up these high-pressure clutch situations from the 2 times we've seen him, and it feels like on Inferno as well, he seems to fall into his own kind of role within that one. I mean, how can we have these individuals that are so good at clutching? It's something that just, is there a play style? Is it a mindset? Like, how can you have people that are better at clutches than others?
Yeah, a lot like Hiko. So Hiko's a great clutcher in NA. FNX allows the situation to unfold for him. He doesn't make the mistake. He allows the opponent to make the mistake. And that's the biggest thing about Counter-Strike. It's often about making your opponent make the mistake. And he's just really good at that.
It's like using your opponent's weight against them kind of thing. See the highlights from that game, and a fantastic game at that one, right down to the wire. Couldn't have been much closer. In fact, it was quite literally a 1v1 at 14-15.
This was scary. I mean, you could see the nerves in those first 10 bullets. And you're just like, oh, please don't, please don't. You played it so well. But
it was. And did you see how he was cautious to rotate? It was like, is this the right play? Do I go back? And it was like, it finally decided to make the move towards B. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's too much more to be said about that one. I'll kind of throw it towards you, Rob, and we haven't heard too much about your thoughts on this one to play out.
I mean, one good thing for Luminosity to take away from this game is that they can still compete versus the Europeans.
Yeah.
Which is something I was referring to before. It's the first event you go to, you're going to have the surprise kind of aspect into the game, right? Where people won't really know what to expect from you. But then coming in here, when people actually have the chance to go look at demos, like see how you like to play and stuff, and still be able to put up a show versus NaVi. Yeah, sure, they did not end up winning a single map, but like cutting it close to Inferno, pulling it to overtime, after NaVi pulling it back and getting those 17 rounds, especially on Inferno, it's impressive. So, sure, still some work to be done, but it's quite nice to see that they are still sticking their grounds. And I mean, all of them, just looking at how they were all performing throughout the series, it was only really Taco that fell behind a little bit, but they're all here. They're all very individually skilled. So it's just the little tiny details.
Jason, I mean,
no, I mean, just to build on that, it is because that was the big question was, they had that miraculous run. It was, 2 days after they put this lineup together, one of those no pressure on you situations, you know, especially if you're getting 16-0. It's like, all right, guys, like we haven't prepared anything. We haven't had time to do it. It's just like, let's just play, like have fun. Don't think about anything. Don't feel the pressure. And now that they've had some time and you start wanting to incorporate some things, and you're going to start feeling this pressure build up a little bit more at some of these events. To have them still come out and perform against a very good NaVi team on Inferno. I mean, we knew Dust 2 was going to be a little bit dicey, but to see them do that on a map that's usually very, very good for that lineup is really cool.
A good sign of things to come potentially for tomorrow. And that, I mean, that's what we should probably start talking about.
Yeah, and he's going to get some maps. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. I guarantee they get 4.
Absolutely guarantee it, and we'll show you why. Let's bring the brackets up so you can see what we're talking about. So, Envious are going to be meeting Fnatic, and what a game that's going to be to start off the day tomorrow. That's going to be spectacular, best of 3, there's no doubt about it, as the French and Swedes do go head-to-head. And of course, in the lower side of the bracket, there you go, there's our little indicator. It's going to be Liquid versus Conquest, and I mean, that's an interesting one. That's, of course, something we'll have seen during the online season of the Pro League. That's something we'll have lots to discuss around. And going into the second half, in the Group B, you can see Question Mark and NaVi going to be battling it out. It's just going to be a European affair in the upper bracket.
Yeah, no surprises.
No surprises there. And CLG Luminosity as well, another game that I'd be interested to see how that one does play out, considering we saw quite a kind of good showing from CLG as well. I mean, Luminosity demonstrating that they're, you know, a team that can compete, maybe not just quite pick up the win just yet. And I feel like CLG gave us some good signs on Mirage.
Yeah, the funny thing about that matchup is CLG historically has the head-to-head advantage over Luminosity. I don't know if they played this new roster yet, though.
No.
This is a completely different beast.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how CLG fares.
That'll be cool because both teams like Mirage.
Yeah.
So that'll be, I mean, you got to imagine that map's going to be in there. That'll be fun to watch them just duke it out. And I mean, even you go back to some of the other tournaments that we've seen in North America, like that iBuyPower tournament, it just turns into a bloodbath when there's all these North American teams involved.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Well, it's time to end the day. You know,
there you go. I mean, like it's like a club that it's like, okay, it's time for you to get out of here. You know, you've had a good night when the club lights come on. You're like, oh god, okay.
What was the final song? It was the same one as well.
And then you realize that you've been dancing with like Faflar, and you're like, oh, he's kind of cute, and the lights go on. You're like, oh god, I made a mistake.
I mean, that's kind of how it was, the ESL party.
That's exactly it.
Second floor, everyone was sweaty. We go out.
You realize all those orange juices.
Finish the story.
Oh, finish the story. I mean, it ended up with me and Alex just making out. And,
there it is. The truth is out. There you go.
I mean, I had a good time, but you were very sweaty.
Machina Laren. Oh, we were.
Yeah, see, you remember now. Yeah, it's coming back to you.
I was breakdancing on the dance floor. Anyway, let's stop right now. Let's end on a high note. We need to remind you one last time about the theScore eSports application. Grab it on your phone, and you can scroll through that one while you miss us until the same time tomorrow. Of course, head over to Google Play and iOS. And me and Faflaren are going to go take a long walk on the beach. And we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. We expect to see you there.
Creamy Moses.